yesterday we saw the Bengals, they trade Joe Flacco.
Yep.
We all collectively think, Shedeur Sanders has gone up to QB2. And today, when Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski was asked, is Shedeur your QB2? This is what he had to say. Oh, hold up. Got to get the volume going. Here we go. All right. Sorry.
Turn it up.
We got it?
Something that we
saw it was on me.
Coming, they called us, and that's it happened very fast and happened not too long ago. So still working through all roster type of things. I always have to be mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and of course our team. But with young players, I'm always thinking about. Last week, making the change to Dylan, you have to think long and hard about that, because these are young players that you're so invested in.
I'm tired.
You have to think long and hard about the backup quarterback position?
Bro, regardless of how you feel about Shedeur Sanders, at this point, you got to feel bad for Shedeur Sanders. In what world can you make such a simple question so complicated? Shedeur Sanders should be the backup, period. Bailey Zappi, who Kevin Stefanski is currently trying to figure out if he's going to be the number 2, you've seen him play in Cleveland before. He started Week 18 last year against the Baltimore Ravens. The Browns lost 35-10. Bailey Zappi had a touchdown and 2 picks. And y'all didn't choose to sign him. So the Chiefs signed him, and then the Chiefs cut him August 28th, and then y'all re-signed him. But you already knew what you felt about Bailey Zappi, because at the end of the season last year, you let him go. So clearly you didn't want him that bad. And now that it's time for Shedeur to get a turn, you're like, this Bailey Zappi dude, we got to see what we feel about him. You saw him. He was bad. Regardless of how you feel about Shedeur, at this point, you have to feel bad for Shedeur, because what the heck is this?
It's disrespect. It's disrespect, in my opinion. You played this game. You went out, said that he was QB3 after you benched Joe Flacco. Then you end up trading Joe Flacco, and now you still won't commit to him being QB2. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. TJ, what you think?
Kevin Stefanski full of shit.
Oh,
wow.
He full of shit. That's the type of coach that.
Hold on. Those are takes we need in the Speakeasy.
Like
those right there. Hold on. You got to run it back. Those are the type of takes that we need in the Speakeasy. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
Like, you talk about instilling confidence into your players. How do you think that makes Shedeur feel? I don't know who the backup is. Yeah. You got to be kidding me. You really gonna bring up Bailey Zappi from the practice squad and make him the backup over me, and I've been on the active roster? Mm-hmm. Either Kevin Stefanski thinks Shedeur Sanders is Magic City parking lot, straight ass.
Cheeks.
Or he just don't like him.
Yeah.
Like, this is the perfect example of take all your confidence away from a player. It really, he must got some pictures or some evidence on Jimmy Haslam. Like, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know who the backup is.
Bro.
Listen, players in the locker room that like Shedeur off of that comment, they don't mess with Kevin Stefanski. They don't because you are really trying to lower this man's confidence. Shedeur, I don't know him. He comes off as uber confident.
Yep. These
type of statements makes you think, damn, I'm not that good. Mm-hmm. Like he full of shit. Mm-hmm. Like I'm done with him, bro. Like, I want to see him just lose every game now. Like, coaches like him shouldn't be head coaches.
Oof.
They should not be head coaches. And it's not just about Shedeur, though, Acho. It's not just about Shedeur. You don't treat people like they can't. If they can't play, get them off the team.
Yeah.
Get them off the team.
Yeah.
You stringing somebody along. All right, I'm the backup. Yeah. Nah, you might not even be the backup.
Yeah. Yeah, T cooking. Because I got so much I want to say right now. Let me start here. If Shedeur is not number 2, go ahead and march into Stefanski's office, march into Barry's office, march into Haslam's office and say, go ahead and release me. Because you might as well release me, because Shedeur Sanders will never play in Cleveland if they put Bailey Zappi ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
At the point in which you are putting a player that you let go at the end of last season because he threw a touchdown and 2 interceptions in his one start, that is Bailey Zappi, and you didn't choose to retain him, and now that Shedeur's the number 2, you're like, you know what? Who can I find? Oh, yeah, we'll take Bailey Zappi. At the point in which you're going to put Bailey Zappi ahead of Shedeur Sanders, you will put anybody ahead of Shedeur. So if the Browns choose to put Zappe at number 2, Shedeur, just go ahead and ask for your release because you're never playing in Cleveland and it's not even your fault. Now, go ahead.
Could it be that they just think he's that bad? That's the only reason. That's the only reasonable explanation. They just don't think he's that good.
How do you agree to have him be on your active roster and Bailey Zappe not, and then you still and you don't want to play him? That doesn't make sense.
Here's why. Here's the dilemma. This to me is a Kevin Stefanski issue. Andrew Berry, the general manager, chooses the roster. So he chose to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. Didn't necessarily make sense because he drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. Kevin Stefanski all but admitted that it wasn't Kevin Stefanski's decision. Great. Now, Bailey Zappe's on practice squad. So I can't play Bailey Zappe over Shedeur because I don't have that hand in my deck. Now that Bailey Zappe's on the active roster, Kevin Stefanski just added a Zappe to his deck. So now I legitimately can play that card, which I couldn't have played before because he was on the practice squad. So the tension, I think, is Andrew Berry, I think, is okay with Shedeur. Kevin Stefanski, I feel like, hates Shedeur. I do not know, but based upon Kevin Stefanski's actions, it appears that Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur.
Point. That is a great point that he probably wanted Zappe on the roster. I hadn't thought about that, but
it could be a GM coach disagreement type situation.
Correct.
Like back when Vince Young got drafted, GM felt one way, Jeff Fisher felt a completely different way. You saw it on the field.
But here's my thing: there is no way that Shedeur Sanders' talent suggests Bailey Zappe should be playing at QB2. So now the question is, Stefanski, you either don't like Shedeur that much, or Shedeur's swag, moxie, culture rubs you so wrong that you won't make him QB2. We're talking about QB2.
Do you think he would ever come out and say, we just don't think he's ready to be the backup? He hasn't shown us enough in practice.
No, because I think that would be a lie.
But if he said that, people would say, oh, okay, it makes sense. The locker room runs the team.
Okay.
The best players, if they feel like Shedeur should be the backup and he isn't, and they lose games, Kevin Stefanski's done. They're going to tune him out. Dude's going to be walking out to practice. 2-3 minutes late. In the meetings right as it's starting. What you going to do to him? I've been on teams. Hi, you want to play these games? What you going to do to me? Find me, I don't care. I wasn't doing that because I need my money. But some dudes, man, they walking out to practice when they want. They leaving practice when they want. They walking in the meetings when they want because they don't fuck with the coach because of decisions like this. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen because I don't know how they feel about Shedeur, but he needs to just be transparent.
Here's what TJ said, which I think we've skated over, and that's all me, is Kevin Stefanski is doing this word that I don't want to utter because it's super overused in 2025. He's gaslighting Shedeur. You know what I mean? Like, you making Shedeur feel crazy. You making us think we crazy.
He ain't been able to give him a single microcosm of a positive statement in terms of where his spot is on the depth chart this entire season.
Bro,
it's bad.
Don't tell, you're trying to tell all of us that we didn't see what we saw at Colorado. You're trying to tell all of us that we didn't see what we saw in Shedeur's first preseason game, albeit his second preseason game was not great. You're trying to tell all of us that the rules of the NFL are now being rewritten for Bailey Zappe. If you are a 5th-round pick, you take priority over a player that got cut last year. That's just how it goes. 3rd-round pick takes priority over 5th-round pick. 5th-round pick takes priority over a player that got cut. Drafted player takes priority over practice squad player. I know because I lived my life on practice squad. There were players that I had to wait to move on or suck or fail or get hurt so that I could jump and that I could become a starter.
And you get excited for that too. You be like, yeah, this is my chance.
Correct. Yes. Like Kevin Stefanski is gaslighting every fan in the National Football League trying to rewrite the rules of the NFL. Flacco should have started first because he was a veteran. Flacco sucks, he's gone. 3rd-round pick starts before 5th-round pick. If 3rd-round pick is no good, 5th-round pick starts. Not if 3rd-round pick is no good, practice squad kid starts. That's asinine. Asinine.
No, it's crazy. We got some super chats.
They're
going crazy right now. We got Lulu, $5 super chat. Said, I know they got 2 QBs with the Browns and Bailey Zappe and might be the 2nd string, but what happens when Watson comes back now? Sanders goes to 3rd, goes to 4th. Does he go to the practice squad? What happens whenever Deshaun Watson comes back if he's not the backup quarterback?
If Shedeur Sanders is not QB2, demand a release.
I don't know if he
The reason I'm not saying demand a trade, I don't know that people would trade for him. And I don't feel like dealing with the social media verse of, ain't nobody gonna trade for him, Macho. But just out of respect, both demand a release, because here's the thing. Go to somebody else's practice squad. And go to somebody else's practice squad, which gives you an avenue to start. Because if you're not going to start here, go somewhere where you have an avenue to start.
I'm not going to lie to you. A couple of weeks ago, you said Shedeur's not a martyr. Mm-hmm. If he demands a release, he is. He becomes one. He becomes one, in my opinion. To me, we already know how the rest of the league feels about him.
I know.
We saw it happen because he dropped to the 5th round of the draft. You have to play your part. You have to take this on the chin, and you have to keep pushing. Apparently, to be able to be able to get on the field. I'm sorry, because right now, who's gonna be like, oh yeah, well he's it's gonna be spun so quickly if he demands a release. Everyone's gonna be like, oh well, look at him. He's too much of a diva to play his role, and he didn't earn it on the field. He was just not good enough.
But I don't even. Y'all know me. If Shady was here, like I sometimes feel like Shady gives the bias Shedeur takes, just capes up for him. I don't even do that. I feel like I'm speaking real. Like, I feel like I'm probably speaking biased because we all are. I feel like I'm speaking real. T, if you do not make the kid the 2, he will never play there. Because if Zappy's better than Shedeur, then every quarterback currently on a roster in football is better than Shedeur. Call it what it is. Because Bailey Zappi is a top 10 quarterback that's currently in football in the National Football League. So if Bailey Zappi's better than Shedeur Sanders, everybody and their mama is.
You can't ask for a release.
You can't. Not 5 games into your rookie season,
that's virtually impossible because of the narrative about him already. He's a diva. He's this. You can't do that. But Kevin Stefanski doing this, we did. Who's the coach on the hot seat?
Yeah.
Man, Kevin Stefanski, they need to get his ass up out of here in about 3 weeks because they're gonna go 0-3.
So what can he do then, bro? Because I don't want to leave this conversation and leave y'all.
To me,
what can he do?
If he's the backup, everything we saying really doesn't matter, right? If he's the backup, he's always one play away. He's one play away. And so you do have hope. If he isn't the backup and he is inactive, but you're the emergency 3rd quarterback, decisions have to be made. How does him and his team go about figuring out, is there a path here on the field?
Yeah.
Because at one point, the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round picks. Everybody, they're going to tank to get Arch.
These quarterbacks suck this year.
No quarterback in college right now looks like
that's a really good
worthy
point.
of the first pick.
That's a really good point,
and so now it's like Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski, you got to win games. You got to find your quarterback because you're not getting another year of sucking like this.
That's a really good point.
And so for me,
T cooking.
I don't understand. I can't ask for a release.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You didn't want to go to Baltimore. You didn't want to do this. You didn't want to do and so now I just think it looks bad.
I hate this.
He gonna be the backup.
It does.
Kevin Stefanski ain't that crazy. He gonna be the backup.
He needs to be the backup.
I don't agree, but where you at, Care Bear? You got something for us?
We got some video here from Jerry Jeudy. I was wondering how the players feel about this, given all the coach speak that we just heard.
What'd he say?
Let's hear what Jerry Jeudy had to say about Shedeur.
Turn us up.
He's been doing a good job, just understanding the plays, doing whatever the coach asks for him, and he's been doing a great job of just, being a pro and, doing what he needs to do to be able to, once he gets his chance to take advantage of that.
I have to say this. Given all of the narratives pushed about Shedeur Sanders, what have his teammates said? The entirety of him being a player. Anyone on his offense in Colorado, they love who he is, bro. They love how the leader that he is. They love how hard he works and whatnot. You're seeing this from Jerry Jeudy too. To me, it's crazy that we're even having this conversation right now after Joe Flacco's release. Nobody in their right mind would have thought that we'd be having this conversation currently. But to me, it's gross what y'all are doing to Shedeur, man. It's gross what y'all are doing to Shedeur. Now, I do agree with you, TJ. I think he'll be named QB2. I think he'll be named QB2 by Thursday.
But hold on. Why the hell do y'all think that? Nothing Kevin Stefanski has done to this point suggests Shedeur Sanders will be QB2. Nothing that
Kevin Stefanski has done suggests anything, so he just gone.
But in what world are y'all now gonna give Shedeur the benefit of the doubt? I absolutely disagree with y'all, not because I want to, but I'll give y'all a real life story. And honestly, sometimes I like talking about backups because that's when I'm like, ooh, let me in the conversation. I can talk now. The Eagles cut me 2014, I'm backing up D'Amico Ryans, Michael Kendricks, and they chose to keep Casey Matthews, Clay Matthews' younger brother, chose to keep him on the active roster. So I'm on practice squad. Michael Kendricks pulls a calf muscle like week 2. Week 3, we're playing the Washington Commanders, formerly Redskins. It's in Washington. All of a sudden, Emmanuel Acho makes his first NFL start. Because I go from practice squad to starting over Casey Matthews. I'm like, what the hell you start me over Casey for if you kept Casey over me? Well, y'all, let's take out our calculators and do a little math. Chip Kelly went to plus Oregon. Casey Matthews went to minus divided by Oregon. So when Chip Kelly was making a decision on the roster, he was going to keep Casey Matthews. Emmanuel Acho was on practice squad, but when somebody got hurt, you take me from practice squad and make me active and start me over Casey. Now, the next week, I think Chip Kelly caught wind of like, yo, why is Acho starting over Casey? Next thing you know, Casey and I start rotating. Casey started the rest of the season outside of missing a meeting. He was late, so I started against the Arizona Cardinals 2 weeks later. I say all that to say, sometimes if there is favoritism, then you will have roster decisions that make absolutely no sense. And I think in this Bailey Zappi, Kevin Stefanski situation, there's favoritism, or there's the complete opposite of that, anti-favoritism, in what Shedeur Sanders is dealing with.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. We got a super chat from Disciple. He said, if anyone plays sports at any level, you know that the coaches pick players sometimes, not because they just like or not because of what their talent is, but because they just might not like you. We also got another super chat.
What did they say?
We got another one. I'm sorry. From Captain Jack Black, I guess. I don't know. Said, you think the Raiders regret not drafting Sanders now? If he were to demand a release, that would be the perfect scenario for him. I hope the Raiders would maybe pick him up, but I disagree with you, Acho. I think if he demands a release, it's a tough situation for him. We got another one from Lulu who said, do you think that for Sanders, everything that's happened leading up to the draft and the whole process killed it for him?
Yes. Here's where I'm torn. I've heard so many things about everything that happened with Shedeur that a lot of this is Shedeur's fault. But what I would hope is that there would be some grace because the kid's 22, 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shedeur should have thrown at the NFL Combine. Like, Shedeur has not been perfect throughout this process. Shedeur should not have mimed at the locker. He has not been perfect throughout this process. Shedeur Sanders, I saw him on an off day, like, why aren't you working out at the Browns facility? It's just some weird stuff. He hasn't been perfect throughout this process, but neither is Cam Ward. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of quarterbacks aren't perfect throughout this process. I just wish there was more grace for him, because if you don't make him the number 2, and I'm done with it, I know we've been here for a while, if you don't make him the number 2, that's just painful. That's painful to the self-esteem of a young QB, bro.
Oh, that's gonna kill his confidence. He'll never say it, but that's gonna kill his confidence. 100% it will. Yeah. I'm the backup, but I'm not the backup. I got you. He'll go in there and be quiet. He won't be himself.
Correct.
Be walking around with bad body language, kind of disappointed. And then the next day, it is what it is. You got to snap back into it. But they'll know. It just...
Bro, you know what? Sorry. You know when somebody's setting you up to fail? That's what's going on. It's like when you want your girl to break up with you. You feel me? We all been here. You want your girl to break up with you, and so you just start treating her terribly.
Dude,
terribly, knowing that, like, I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to treat you so bad that eventually you'll break. I'm going to stop calling you. No good morning text, no good night text, no I miss you. The flowers, they not getting sent no more. You just act annoyed every time they talk to you. You treat them so bad that eventually they'll break and they'll be like, I can't do this anymore. That's what the Browns are doing with Shedeur. Like, they're treating him so bad that hopefully he'll just break. And he'll just be like, you know what? I want out. I'm done.
They are trying to break Shedeur Sanders like a wild horse. They are, in my opinion, this is what we had. We had a conversation last week with Jeudy about conformity. They are trying to get him to conform to what typical NFL quarterbacks that are drafted in a 5th round position are going to do. Does anyone in this room think that he's a 5th round talent?
But how do we know? How do we know he hasn't conformed? How do we know? Like, he is who he is, the way he speaks, the way he carries himself. But
they're trying to make sure
he's in a meeting taking notes like everybody else. He's out doing what he's supposed to do in practice. But just because he wears his hat off to the side a little bit, like other guys do that also.
Yeah.
To me, it's more of a. To me, it's very simple. Kevin Stefanski, either you like him as a person or you don't, because it seems personal. And he'll always say
it does seem
isn't.
personal.
He'll always say it isn't. But this is why certain players don't fuck with their coaches because they're dishonest.
Yeah.
I had one coach that was honest with me. Still talk to him to this day, position coach. Because when you're the head coach, you're really making a decision about the quarterback. Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, they're going to step in. Shedeur going to be the backup.
I agree. I agree they should. We also got some super chats before we move on. From Doggy Bone, $20 super chat says Shedeur is the only recent quarterback to throw to throw for 20 points against the Panthers team. With the second team, DG played against the Eagles and scored 0 points in the air. They scored on kicks and run TDs, and then he threw a pick six and a fumble. We also got another one. Dragon the Ambassador, $10 super chat. He said QB2 is one play away. If Shedeur is not ready to run Stefanski's system, it looks like
BS.
I
It's
don't know.
BS.
But Bailey Zappi is.
It's BS.
But Bailey Zappi is.
It's BS.
He ain't even been there as long.
Here's my thing. Zappy was there last year, so I'll say that. That's not why I'm saying it's BS. It's BS because you can go run the system as a backup. Like when I came in a backup linebacker, sure I was smart, but when I went in the game as a backup linebacker, you're not gonna get out of me what you got out of D'Amico Ryans. But I'm gonna be able to hold down the fort. I'm going to be able to make my rain calls. I'm going to make my lightning calls. I'm going to make my rock calls. I'm going to make my laser calls. I'm going to be able to move the front. I'm going to be able to, hey, check, trio. Hey, Jenkins, come down. I'm going to be able to do enough. You're not going to get no D'Amico Ryans level play out of me, but you're going to get enough.
Yeah. So they want us to think Shedeur is a bum. That's what they want us to think. He's a bum. That's what they want us to think.
We got another
a mental
$10.
bum.
Go ahead.
Another $10 super chat from Otis who said, Shedeur won't play until Stefanski loses his job. He doesn't like him and will sabotage him. And I believe he has in his last he did in his last preseason game.
We going places here. I apologize.
Who said that?
That was Otis.
Otis. Stefanski's not losing his job. Shedeur will lose his job first.
It's crazy that Stefanski's and I understand he has the coaches of the year, but what are we doing?
2 coaches of the year, and if we're being honest, Stefanski's the best coach the Cleveland Browns have had in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
He is going nowhere. Shedeur will be gone long before Stefanski's ever gone. And Stefanski is closer with the decision maker of Jimmy Haslam than Shedeur Sanders is. So let's not get it twisted. I'm not going to lie here on a Speakeasy and try to convince y'all that, Stefanski's going to be fired and then Shedeur will start. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The only way Shedeur starts seemingly at this point is an act of God. It's one of them Old Testament acts of God. One of them crossing the Red Sea act of gods. One of them biblical act of gods.
Yeah. Nah, it's a tough situation with him. I'm hoping DG can go out there and do well. But also at the same time, it's I can't get it through my brain. There's no
baller.
I think Dylan Gabriel is a baller.
I like Dylan. He's a baller.
Yeah, I hope Dylan Gabriel continues to do well. It's not like I'm just like praying for his downfall and whatnot. But to me, it just you are instilling absolutely zero confidence in a young quarterback, which is what you're supposed to do.
Correct.
You are literally like you have probably the most hyper confident young quarterback that can come into the league, and you're doing nothing but demeaning him, in my opinion, like in his confidence. It doesn't make sense to me.